Oh, let's try that again. Forgot to press the record button. So there you go. Haha.
Okay. Take two.
Hopefully she caught it at the beginning, not at the end. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast. I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And every single podcast we bring you the round of the week's best geek and tech news. We discuss that news and of course anything else that we happen to be interested in. And this week we're going to talk about
Underground Freeways, Echo Look, the new Iron Man suit, movie trailer showdowns, and much, much more.
absolutely. But we're going to begin the show though with geek news. And our top story in Geek News is going to be, of course, talking about Elon Musk, the most boring company ever. Dun-dun-dun.
He got some stuff though that's pretty good. But so far, at TED on Friday, Elon Musk showed more of us of his vision for the Boring Company. His effort to drill underground tunnels to relieve traffic congestion. Cars would descend into a car elevator into tunnels and be moved through the tunnels on a sled that can move to up to 130 miles per hour and be controlled by a computer that routes cars intelligently as if they were packets in a network. A network that requires absolutely no packet loss, by the way. Another advantage is that the tunnels can be stacked below ground below ground than above ground, allowing more capacity.
Absolutely. And quick shout out to Hans Limo in the chat room. He says, "Sup, ladies? Happy Sunday, and happy
man.
Sunday back to you, good lady." Okay, but going back to the commentary on Elon Musk's Boring Company, I think this is definitely future tech stuff coming to life because I remember watching iRobot, the one with Will Smith, and that was a thing in that movie where there were a bunch of underground tunnel networks and automated cars would just zoom through at super high speeds, and this is kind of like that. And if it helps relieve traffic, I'm like, hey, that's one less thing we have to worry about in LA. But I don't know how actual feasible it is. Instead of building a freeway, you dig a tunnel or repeated tunnels. That sounds like we're starting to be like the mole people.
Yeah, but it's I don't see it working out. I'm seeing in my mind, seeing too many natural disasters possibly happening.
Oh, you feel like he's gonna like trigger like a fault line or something, and
that it's a combination of that fracking stuff, the sinkhole stuff, natural erosion of the earth. You're just making it worse by digging more air holes, if you will.
well, they're not just air holes. I mean, it's not just like digging out; it's also like creating concrete foundations and tunneling. So if anything, he would be strengthening the earth potentially.
Yeah.
Because we dig tunnels on a fairly regular basis to run pipelines and like massive sewer systems, and those don't cause collapses in the earth. You know what I mean?
I'd say make this just like those private roads. Just make it for the elite if they want to pay
For the super elite.
Super elite.
Yeah, just make it part of the Tesla car model.
Oh yeah, why not, man? Just if you got the money for it, go nuts. But I would rather we talked about public transportation, better public transportation, better ways to uncongest the roads. But this way,
okay, what do you think about this versus the Hyperloop tunnel system? That's the one that's above ground.
Above ground,
but you're like going at supersonic speeds through like super train systems.
Yes, I'd go that route because that actually takes multiple passengers other than a car at a time.
Yeah, but this one would be like a car, but it's like lines of cars. You know what I mean? So like just pops them in and out, and if they're all stacked together going 300 miles an hour or whatever it's going to be, then is it any less efficient necessarily? I mean,
pros and cons on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say boo on it. I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay.
They could expend the money on something better.
That is always true, but it's a kind of cool tech that you have giant drilling machines. It seems like something a supervillain would use. I kind of like that at least part of it.
It's still like that. It's like that combination of Futurama and the Jetsons of those people tubes.
Yeah.
That somebody just walk in and they'll just launch it just however.
Yeah, just the car version. Very true. Okay, on to our next story. Also tech version. As of Tuesday of this week, Arizona residents in Phoenix can sign up for rides on Waymo's self-driving minivan service for free.
Awesome.
This is an early rider program that will gather data on how people want to use autonomous vehicles. You can apply now at waymo.com/apply, and if you're selected, you can see how you can use the service. And if you don't remember what this is, um, Waymo is the Google version of the automated car service, where cars are driving themselves and people just kind of call them and they coordinate themselves. They pick you up, they take you where you want to go. And so this is definitely cool stuff. Most people, I think it's going to take at least a few years before the majority of people get comfortable with this idea. So
Oh
this
yeah.
is a great way to just kind of make it free and easy and get and kind of ease people into the transition of not driving anymore. I'm more than happy to not drive anymore myself,
Yeah.
but not everybody is me.
Yeah. There's very few cities, if you will, that have their own little local trolley slash train slash bus system. Unless you want to go long distance traveling, that's a different route. But a lot of people would rather I want to go to town, but not have to worry about driving
Right.
or having to deal with the fun stuff of accidents, bad runnings with the law, kind of thing, speeding, that kind of deal. Congestion, of course, is one of the biggest ordeals. But I'd totally do it. I'd give it a run. Why not? It'd be that very awkward. It's like I don't know if you ever ridden like a taxi or so. And you literally have to trust the driver. They're taking you where they're supposed to because
Not just to their private murder hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least I trust an empty seat with a computer driving more than I would a person.
Yeah.
At least there's no motivation for that car to murder me.
That's true. And I wonder if it has more tolerance to put up with backseat drivers. So I'm like, slow down.
Oh yeah, play whatever music you want to. You just sit back and relax, take a nap. You don't have to worry about anybody murdering you in your sleep.
Exactly.
See, there you go. More reasons not to take a cab and to take a self-driving vehicle.
Yeah, totally.
Not get murdered. Okay, next tech story.
All right, more tech awesomeness. Amazon has introduced a $200 Echo Look, which adds a camera. The idea is to put in your closet or near you where you get dressed. Naked. You can tell the voice assistant to take a picture or a video and then see images on your phone. You can use the style to check feature. You can use the style check feature of the Echo Look app to get a style rating based on a combination of expert opinions and machine learning. The device has off buttons for both mic and camera.
This is such an interesting piece of technology because the Echo has been blowing up in a lot of homes. Like a lot of people find it really useful just to call out things and order things without having to type in anything, or to look at news or get questions real quick. It's very kid friendly as far as being easy to use. And this is kind of the next logical step of including a camera where it can take photos or videos and give you opinions or order things in that nature. The downside, of course, is that there are always privacy concerns whenever there's a device that kind of does its own thing sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And so you're concerned about whether it's going to take pictures of you when you're changing is of a legitimate concern, because if hackers get access to your ecosystem, they can listen to you, they can take photos and videos, and that's always going to be a concern. But it's also a concern whenever you have a webcam on, and we have four on right now currently. So we assume people are watching us because we're streaming, of course.
Yeah.
But when you're not intentionally streaming is a different issue. And so this seems cool. I don't know that the camera is necessarily as useful, but hey, if people want to use it and they can find a use base for it, great.
Any technology has its pros and cons. There was this one story about they tracked down a victim by their Fitbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was also they wanted to find out if they claimed to be where they were, and of course with their GPS systems that that actually help people get found. It's no different than that we talked about how it's tempting about getting that RF GPS chip installed. Both you don't want to be watched, but you want to be found if you're lost. So it's
Yep, that's all true.
Yeah, that's depending on the side. But as for the privacy of pictures, I don't know. It's almost like that. You ever seen the movie Clueless?
Yes.
Yeah, I like how she likes to have an opinion. She doesn't trust mirrors, so she takes Polaroids of herself wearing the outfit. That way she could get a view of what it is, how how she looks like. And I kind of agree. I've had it was a weird experience. It's like I when I put on a shirt and whatnot, I look at myself and I'm like, I guess I look alright and everything. But until you look into the mirror, or like you ever see yourself on camera, you're like, oh wow, I really look like that. I'm like,
Occasionally, I see myself on camera. Yeah.
yeah. So a little narcissistic, but not that bad. I both pros and cons. I like it. I like it. I'm just surprised they haven't done. I know there's. Have you ever heard of an app called the Mall?
I don't believe I've heard of that particular app now.
It's an augmented version of it where they actually does like a scan of yourself, and depending if you're shopping different outfits, it'll actually project
the clothes on you. Yeah.
So you kind of have like, oh, okay, this shirt is not that bad, but you're literally like a paper doll, so it's just layered on top of you.
Right.
You don't know what it actually feels like. It could be one like itchy woolly sweater for all you know, but.
Yep, the machine learning technology. I do think it's interesting that they include like an app service to tell you if you dress well. Like that just seems like a way to sell you stuff. But I mean, that is part of what Amazon's ecosystem is.
A little snarky kind of comments are like, "You're gonna go out in that?"
It's like, "Oh, those colors don't match."
Girlfriend.
Like, nuh-uh. You have your Echo giving attitude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It does the little neck swing and wags the finger.
Yeah, it's like it's a little blinking light.
I'm like, okay, Echo.
That would be the next iteration, I think.
Yeah.
Advanced snarky AI.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, next tech story. We have Richard Browning using his Daedalus suit to fly around the TED conference this last week in Vancouver. This is just some Iron Man stuff. I mean, he literally has 4 jet engines strapped to his arms, and he uses them to fly around an area. He's capable of going 200 miles an hour, rising a few thousand feet in the air. But the creator of the system has never used it for more than 10 minutes, and it's just kind of interesting, proof of concept idea. Like, oh yeah, there's actually the tech to do Iron Man stuff. As far as like the flying suit thing goes,
it's no different than the 60s and 70s where the guy had that jetpack thing that could only go just from one side to the other side, and that was it because you would burn through your fuel so fast. Though
jet fuel is expensive. That is the downside of it.
Yeah, so
that's why Iron Man has to be rich.
Literally, yeah. I'm not seeing any crazy advancement in technology. I've seen the military aspects on it, but human flight, like individual human flight. There's the board that's like an actual hoverboard kind of thing. That one was actually pretty cool because they miniaturized it pretty small.
Right.
But to me, it was always the maneuvering on it, And especially, it's gonna sound really messed up, but I really want to see one of these like fail videos of this. It's taking off, yay! Oh.
I'm sure there's some Photoshop versions of that somewhere.
Yeah. So, way to go for the guy for having that extra money to strap on jet engines onto himself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not seeing crazy investment. I want to see the Gizmo duck.
Just like
of the unicycle, like motorized unicycle thing with the whole computerized.
Isn't that just what is it called? One of those wheelie things?
Segways?
The Segways, yeah. It's just a Segway.
One wheel.
A guy with a Segway, like a large Segway thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Next story.
Nintendo, yeah. Nintendo announced a 2DS XL game console, a revision of the 3DS XL with larger screens, an NFC reader, and updated processing power. It goes on sale in Japan for 14,980 yen. No idea what that is in America, but I'll tell you in a second. On July 13th, and in the US on July 28th for $149.99.
Yeah, this is actually a really quick turnaround between like the Japanese release and the US release, to be honest. Usually it's a little bit longer than a couple weeks, and not a horrible price. I mean, but it's about the same price that I think it came out originally. Yeah. But it's much larger and prettier. And this is supposed to be the last version of this thing that's coming out, though.
Yeah, because I thought they were done. I'm like, once that Switch thing came out, they're like, yeah, we're done with
the Switch is better.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be in the route of the Wii U. You think it's a more advanced, bigger. It's going to be a bigger screen or anything, but I don't think it's.
It's for those who are people who are enthusiastic for the XL line of the 2DS. Because it's a well-selling product. That is not in question. And so I think Nintendo is just trying to eke out the last little bit of fan base, because there's a ton of games that are just never going to be reproduced on like the Nintendo Switch for this thing. because just better games are going to come out.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a less expensive version of a handheld console. And, again, there is a big enthusiastic market for it. So why not get those last little bit of sales?
Totally.
Not hurting anybody.
My thing is, I don't know. Have you recently been to pretty much any store that sells video game consoles and
I
whatnot?
don't. Yeah, they're all empty usually.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
retail
down.
in general, like physical retail stores in general, are more empty.
Yeah.
I buy everything online, all my video games, digital downloads, immediate gratification. Don't have to leave the house.
Honestly, it's getting down to like all that you would see at a retail store now would be like the priorities. It's literally food, clothing, and just whatever sufficient needs that you need to survive in your
Yeah,
home.
and there are plenty of tech startups trying to solve those problems too, like
So,
grocery delivery service.
mm-hmm,
You can, Amazon does what is it called, Fresh Green or something, where they
mm-hmm.
deliver groceries to your home.
Oh yeah,
Um, so it's entirely possible you at some point in the future, very soon, you may never have to leave your house again, and it seems like a happy day for me.
I don't mind not leaving the house. Staying in is cool and whatnot. Like to me, it's more of a weather issue. Um, I like going to like open markets, if you will, like old school, like almost like a farmers market thing.
Yeah,
Get that feel like oh, hey, like to see what these shopkeeps have. But nowadays, it's not necessarily a barren wasteland, but there's like I could get that online for
cheaper.
less
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
to me.
More convenient,
Yeah,
less expensive. Yeah, so
yeah.
there you go.
So well, we'll see how long. What do you think? Which chain store? I think it's going to be more of the department stores and malls because they've been closing down. I think it's like
Yep.
Sears is down to it's like I don't want to say it's
No,
final
yeah,
threads,
a lot of
but
GameStop stores, same deal. They're hoping a lot of game stores are hoping that virtual reality will bring people back into the physical location, since it's hard to test that stuff out online or through videos.
mm,
But it hasn't helped too much yet,
yeah,
so we'll have to wait and see. On to our next story. Our first look at the new Iron Man suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. Excuse me.
mm,
As is often the case, toy manufacturers get a first look at upcoming movie properties because they need to make the toys, and so it takes a while to do so. And Hot Toys recently had a leak of their latest Iron Man figure, which shows off what Tony Stark will be sporting in the upcoming Spider-Man film, Homecoming. And it's kind of a fancy looking thing. It has a bunch of articulation, it's a bunch of pretty lights, silver and red, so they're eschewing a lot of the gold at this point.
it's funky. It's almost like a weird take of the like the Mach 1 of all silver, like if it was starting up
Yeah.
with very few red highlights on it, and the helmet looks from like what was it, Civil War. It has those weird kind of like eyebrow lines too, which I was not really a fan of.
Looks very frowny faced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the weird what do you call them,
Well, yeah,
earmuffs or
every
whatever.
every movie, Tony Stark needs at least one new suit. I mean, it's kind of
Well, that has to be twerk.
yeah,
But the thing is, not necessarily being a new suit. It has to have new suit functionality. Like it's like what was the last one? Iron Man 3, the Extremis kind of thing. It pretty much could just apply himself wherever. He doesn't have to rock the suitcase style
Yeah.
one and like put it on. Pretty much he just hits a button and
it
somewhere
all comes
if
to
it's
him.
around,
Yeah,
it'll slap onto him. I don't think. Well, not that I don't think, but maybe for the last movie that he'll do the liquid metal one where it
like the
actually just,
nanites.
exactly. I think that's going to be the final route, at least for Tony Stark for being Iron Man. I don't know
Till
if
he
they can go
dies
beyond.
and is replaced by a young African American woman.
Why not, man? Black Panther's coming out soon,
Yep.
so make it happen.
Then she recall, was it Ironheart?
Ironheart, yeah.
Iron Man.
So it looks good. The only one that I've seen for the Homecoming that kind of still got mixed feelings of is the Vulture. I don't know if you see the details on the Vulture out.
I seen it
costume.
from the trailers for the Vulture.
Yeah, it's almost drone like with the wings.
Yeah.
Compared to Falcon that has the jetpack in the back and the wings that extend.
It's much
out.
larger. It's like a larger version of the glider, only like attached to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has like drone propeller things on the sides.
Which makes, I guess, technically more realistic.
but
You
still
know,
wings and
less expensive than jetpacks.
that's true.
So there you go. So it's economical and efficient.
Yeah.
There you go. Who knew the Vulture was eco-friendly?
Exactly.
Okay, next story.
All right.
This one be Gerard Brittle. This is such a weird story. I had to include it.
Okay.
This is a lawsuit against Warner Brothers for their movie, the Conjuring movies. Someone is the the guy named Gerard Brittle. He wrote a
Mm-hmm.
book in 1980 called The Demonologist, about Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators whose case files are dramatized in the Conjuring movies. Now, the writer of that novel basically said he had an exclusive rights to their stories, in agreement with those people. And Warner Brother, unfortunately, is saying that no, that they made a deal with the Warren, saying that their films had those rights as well. So this is about like copyright intellectual property issues.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the fun twist. Basically, in the lawsuit, Warner Brothers says that their movies are based on factual events of these people, of these supernatural investigators, the Warrens. However, Brittle, who's the writer version, says that his books are based on basically the made-up stories that these people did. And so, if Warner Brother wants to win, they have to prove essentially the ghosts are real. And
Ah.
and what's up for grabs? $200 million.
Only?
That's it. I mean, because that's basically what they made with the Conjuring movies. And so if they lose, Warner Brothers lose, they can't prove the ghosts are real based on factual events. Then they might lose out on $200 million or settle out of court. And the burden of proof is on them. So Warner Brother has to prove ghosts are real. So I'm like, oh, that is such a fun, interesting case.
I want to see that case go down. That's going to be very interesting. Well, let's see. They don't own the rights of Ghostbusters, so they can't really use that towards their.
No, even then that's fictional. I mean, bringing in scientific evidence that ghosts are real. I'm like, oh, that is
That's on them
court
for,
case of the century.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's on them for saying based on historical facts. I'm like, really now? They gotta bring in some kind of demon. But one movie that kind of relates to that of how pretty much one company screwed another company. Did you ever watch the movie The Founder? It's like how McDonald's.
That's the McDonald's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with Michael Keaton. Yeah.
Man, he was a jerk in that one, and it kind of makes me want to turn off and not eat McDonald's anymore just because of that Ray Kroc.
I don't know that I've eaten McDonald's in years, and it's not because of that particular issue. It's just that it's okay. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, that guy was a dick, and it ended up in a bad way.
What is one line like? Oh, what are you gonna do for money and to push this huge brand out as quickly and fast as possible? Because I mean, those other guys were, they had the secret sauce, but they weren't doing anything with it, as far as I understand. And it was Michael Keaton's character that pushed it out as a national chain and made it into something.
It's just weird that you take somebody else's product idea and whatnot, and you're the one making all the money off of it, and wind up even owning the rights to something that you created. Is like, for real?
Yep.
It's like,
So called contracts.
Business.
Read things.
Read that fine print, y'all.
Yep, always. Okay, next story.
Is Imperfect M. Okay, Imperfect.
M. Night Shyamalan style.
Okay, I was going to say, is it Imperfect? And how are we doing this? Okay. The director teased that he would share some unbelievable news on his Twitter feed today, and he did not disappoint. In a slow reveal, the Helmer, whose latest film, Split, has been a $275 million worldwide hit, and I haven't seen it yet.
Nope.
For Blumhouse and Universal confirmed that his next picture will be the sequel to both that movie and 2000's Unbreakable, titled Glass. It will reteam Unbreakable stars Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, along with Split's James McAvoy and Anya Taylor-Joy. Universal will release Glass on January 18th, 2019.
Yep, so you got 2 years of preparation, scripting, all kinds of stuff, but you're going to get a sequel to finally Unbreakable. And the movie Split is apparently Jay McAvoy plays a man with split personalities, and one of whom is a serial killer. And so he's kidnapping people and women and murdering them, and twist ending apparently. If it's an M. Shyamalan movie, that is assumed. I haven't seen it though.
I haven't seen it,
but I know there was like a small snippet near the end apparently, where he's referencing the events that happened in Unbreakable. And so that's where they're like, oh, that's the same universe, and it blew up on the internet, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna make that nice sequel now.
Yeah, I did watch Unbreakable. I liked it because I heard it was a comic book movie, so technically it kind of was.
Yeah, it is.
And the other M. Night Shyamalan movies, let's see. I did see, what was it? I See Dead People one.
The Sixth Sense.
There you go. I saw that one. He did Signs, didn't he?
I don't recall. He
I don't
might
know
have.
if he did
It feels
signs.
like it should be him.
Yeah, it's just a funky little twist on it. He did what was it? The one with the I think it's the village or so. The one with that
Yeah,
yeah the group of people that live in their own little thing.
the Red Hood Village thing. Yeah, they also did a
Exactly.
mermaid movie.
Did a
Um,
mermaid movie?
yeah,
Which mermaid movie?
it's a mermaid movie. They find some lady. She's a mermaid. It's not that complicated. It's not that interesting either.
Like Splash?
Not as interesting as Flash.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm a mermaid movie.
No, yeah, it's seriously. There's a real mermaid movie by M. Night Shyamalan.
It's not the Asian one, is it?
Nope. I mean, it's you can look it up if you want to,
Oh,
but it's a mermaid movie. Yeah,
no. Well,
it's about like belief in the magical and some stuff like that.
I thought
It was very boring. I don't recall the plot.
oh, excuse me. I thought it was kind of like was it Real Fish or Real Big Fish?
No, no, it's just like I think it's just believing in mermaids and like yeah.
No.
So it's like in a housing or like an apartment complex that has a pool, and I think it was like a portal that a mermaid uses to come in and out of the pool, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Next story. Sad news. Powerless, the NBC show about a company that makes superhero related products and protection services set in the DC universe, has been canceled. Very sad. A great cast. I mean, great all star figures. I mean, Danny Tudi. You have what's her name? Ronald Funches. Singer lady in the middle. Vanessa Hutchinson. That's right. We have the guy from Firefly.
Yeah. So it's a good. It was a good cast. It was
Yeah,
a good show.
it's funny. I like it.
The first
Yeah,
couple episodes.
I've seen every episode, and
Yeah.
I think they're all very fun work situational content. But also have like a great superhero twist. You're never gonna see like any major DC superheroes, but they have their own like minor
Oh yeah.
for the show superheroes and villains. I think it's enough.
Maybe if there's enough popularity, maybe I'll just go Netflix and continue that route.
Yeah, but then that assumes NBC is going to sell the property to them, and they've been trying to do their own streaming service thing as well, which is why they're going with what is it, CBS?
TBS.
No, well, I can't remember if it's NBC or CBS. I'm sure they're both doing it. Are trying to do with their own like Star
CBS.
Trek property, which
Yeah,
is going to be
CBS.
CBS. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, because if it doesn't do great on national television, that's what the internet's.
I guess just maybe it didn't connect to the right audience. I don't know, but I liked it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, I watch it on Hulu every week, which is sad to see that it goes. But that does happen. Okay, next story. That's you.
Okay, the actor who co-starred in 1993's Jurassic Park and 1997's The Lost World Jurassic Park will appear in Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment's next Jurassic World film. J.A. Bayona from Monster Calls is directing the next installment in the studio's hit franchise Jurassic World, Jurassic World earned a 1.67 billion worldwide in 2015 and is the fourth highest grossing film in history.
Yep.
Who knew?
It's a huge.
knew?
Yep. Just a lot of nostalgia viewers got us in there, and now they're gonna make a sequel, and he's gonna show up. But first, he's gonna be in Thor Ragnarok, which puts him in the Marvel universe with the other guy, Chris Pratt. So you're gonna have Star Lord and the Gladiator guy from Thor Ragnarok. He's gonna be like a host of a gladiator system. And then they're both gonna show up in Jurassic World. So I think it's very interesting.
I wonder if he's going to do any reference to his
Yeah.
water droplet. On
Yeah,
the
you probably will.
back of
Because
the
remember,
thing.
this is supposed to be Jurassic World is supposed to be a direct sequel to the original Jurassic Park. So all those other movies that came between them, technically, are no longer canon. It's just jump from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World.
One movie that I always feel like I would love to see a sequel of, or at least a take on, is I think they did do a sequel, but not with him, The Fly. You ever seen him in The Fly?
Yeah, I saw him in The Fly. It was a good movie. He was very young in that movie, though.
Oh yeah.
And then I think he was also in The Fly too, wasn't he?
That one I don't remember. I don't remember watching the
Yeah,
sequel.
there's a second Fly movie.
Yeah.
Back to Sticky Paper or something.
But yeah, Jeff Goldblum's always been a nice guy. The only thing I've been recently seeing him, if anything, doing those apartment.com commercials. But hey, if it's a paying
What if you need to
gig,
pay the bills? Yeah, but I think Thor Ragnarok is going to be a nice big boost to his career again. So good for him.
Yeah, he's not missing out on anything, so he's good.
Okay, on to our last section of the show, folks. Movie trailer showdown. There's no credits, so there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
We have 4 trailers that enter. Only one leaves as the winner of this week's movie trailer showdown. First up on the block, we have Call of Duty World War II. This is the latest trailer for the Call of Duty series, which is going back to its roots as a World War II epic series. Very, very interesting, very pretty video game footage. I'm curious to see how well it's going to do. The last, what's not Call of Duty, what's the other one? Battlefield also did World War II, and it did really well. So hopefully Call of Duty does as well. But it's also, again, good consoles. Why not?
Yeah, the thing with that is like going semi old school instead of evolving like the futuristic Call of Duty.
Yeah, because they've tried that. They went from like the past to the present, and then into the future a little bit, and now they're going back to the past again.
Exactly.
I think they've run out of ideas.
I don't know. We'll see how far detail on it. But what I always loved about these Call of Duty franchises is that they add different modes on it. Like when they added the zombie mode to
That's always the popular mode, yeah.
It made it fun. It made
Zombies
it
in World War II, very interesting.
Yeah, because, there's killing a Nazi. Okay, you're killing a Nazi, but killing
Being
a zombie
Nazi, yeah,
man,
there you go.
Yeah,
We're talking money. That's the big play there.
Oh, totally.
Absolutely. Okay. Next on the block we have Cars 3. I don't remember Cars 2. I remember Cars 1. I really don't remember Cars 2.
Cars 2, honestly, you weren't missing. It was the whole Mater becoming a supposedly secret agent.
Okay, then I missed that movie entirely, and we're on to Cars 3 now. The trailer doesn't look half bad, to be honest. It feels like Rocky 4.
Oh.
Rocky 4 probably. Like where he's like retired, or he's like trying to come back, or maybe 3, where he's like being challenged as the champ, but he has to like recover and like retrain because he's lost his edge or his fire.
There's young blood coming in, trying to deal competition.
So maybe more like Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Before he retires.
Yeah.
So and then on to the next trailer. It's going to be Baywatch, and it's surprisingly interesting. They show a lot more of the plot. And even though it is a parody, it's also an action parody, and it's a comedy, and it is what it is. We'll talk about what we think about it. But our last option for this one is going to be Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and that's not a sex move, but it is a very interesting trailer for the movie. I was an okay fan of the first Kingsman. I thought it was fine. I wasn't James Bond. But it wasn't Mission Impossible either. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. It kind of towed the line between a comedy and action. Yeah. Kind of like it did try to draw in like the teen audience though a lot. So
yeah, the only thing on it to me was instead of going the whole James Bond route, I liked it for the effects. And the main thing was the sword girl, if you will, that she had those legs.
The one who was had those wobbly legs, like leg replacements, but they're also swords. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, she was wearing like the schoolgirl outfit until the bigger role. And I'm only going by previous because I have not seen that movie.
I've been to the first one.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's Samuel L. Jackson versus some white people.
Yeah, and it's Samuel L. Jackson with a hat slightly skewed to that side
and a lisp.
And he has a lisp.
He has the lisp in that film. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very interesting role for him. I don't know if it is, Oscar quality, but it is a fun action role movie. So, I mean, I'm sure it's on Netflix or somewhere by now.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to definitely check it out. But the effects on it just
But of the 4 trailers, which one did you like the best?
I'm going to go Kingsman.
Kingsman, okay.
I'm a big guy for the effects. So, like, show me some new tech. That was another thing,
it was.
Especially now with...
It was. I like the idea that there were also some Americans in there. American, essentially, servicemen who, in the same role as the Kingsman as super size. And one of them was Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
But it was very much like a westernized feel of them. Like they were Western cowboy spies or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I guess I see that as, interesting. Yeah.
A thing, yeah.
And Hans Lima in the chat room says, badass movie, though. The Kingsman.
Yeah.
So Hans likes it. So
Hans likes it.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's anything. No, just kidding.
That's enough of an endorsement there. I mean, now we have to go watch the Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle, which it just sounds like a golden hand job or something, or like some orifice to put things in. Yeah.
Right.
The golden sheriff's badge. Yeah.
I want to check it out, but Baywatch. I don't know. I feel like if it wasn't for
no, actually, Baywatch was my thing. Like, the Baywatch one was my pick out of the 4, just because it got funnier. I mean, the more of these trailers I see, less serious I think they're taking it, and they're just action comedy. And even though they're doing the same tropes like the bouncing boobs and bouncing guy boobs, um, in the tone of the movie, the characters are being serious, but at the same time they're being irreverent and funny.
Exactly.
And The Rock, of course, is an amazing actor,
Mm.
both comedically and
Oh yeah.
in this serious action tone. So I'm like, oh, that kind of works. Zac Efron is eye candy for the ladies.
Yeah, because honestly, if they didn't get
Well, there's
him,
plenty of explosions. So
oh
yeah,
yeah, they would have got the Wolf Boy from those what do you call 'em movies? Those vampire movies.
the sparkly guy.
Yeah, not the sparkly guy, but the Wolf Boy.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah,
Other guy. I don't
yeah,
know.
Wolf Boy, whatever, Shark Boy, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
He's Shark Boy also.
And Hans
Um,
Lima in the chat room says, yes, he really would watch anything once.
so yeah, hey, give it a try, man.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like a lot of times with me, worst case scenarios, like if I wanted to semi watch a movie without having to actually take play and listen to the whole audio, I literally just fast forward, and obviously a picture's worth 1,000 words. So fast forwarding it, I pretty much kind of piece together my own little story as I watch to the very end.
That is one way to do it. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Watching a movie without watching the movie is a way to do it. You could also just, I don't know, read the synopsis.
Cliff notes and whatnot.
Yeah, watch the YouTube trailer version.
Yeah, because I saw one that was an Oscar winning movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, until La La Land tried to take it from them, was Moonlight. I saw Moonlight. It was alright.
Yeah,
It
well,
wasn't like, oh my god, greatest Oscar movie, blah 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 blah.
Oh, and Hans Lim in the chat room says, the name we're looking for is Taylor Lautner.
Good for him.
Very good, sir. Thank you very much for that information.
Oh,
And
Tay Tay.
I question why you know that off the top of your head.
Doesn't matter. No matter.
No judgments. Just curious.
No. No, but yeah, he was a good guy. The last movie that I saw him in was a Grown Ups 2.
Yeah.
So it was literally like back flipping, spin kicking, which obviously he has the ability. So awesome on that part.
Hey, milk it for what it's worth. Fame is fleeting. So I know, good for him.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie, but I mean, I'm glad he made some money off of it.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be training. Ones that I think it's definitely gonna feel like a summer movie because it's all beach related kind of.
Baywatch. Yep, that's it. Okay, that's it for the show, folks. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. Not that long of an episode. Not too many news stories happened this week, but we still had a good time talking to you and geeking out with each other. But that's it for the show. If you want to help support the podcast, you can find all the ways to do so at
geekbytespodcast.com/support.
Absolutely. But thanks again for hanging out with us and listening and watching. And of course, Hans hanging out with us in the chat room, of course.
Yeah, Hans is awesome.
Yep. Thanks a lot, man. So appreciate everybody else for watching and listening as well, live or recorded or on the podcast version, audio only. You can always, check everything out at geekbytespodcast.com for all the older episodes and the current ones, according also our other podcast, which is the Lit RPG podcast as well. Yeah. But that's it. That's it for the podcast. I'm Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And remember, folks, to go geek out about something.